In a small village nestled by rolling hills and dusty paths, Amma was born into humble beginnings. Her home was a modest mud brick hut, and every day was a struggle for her mother, Mama Esi, who worked tirelessly in the fields to support them. Despite their hardships, Mama Esi filled Amma's heart with hope and dreams, whispering words of encouragement every night before bed. "Amma," she would say, "you are worth more than gold. Life may be hard, but greatness lives inside you." Amma absorbed these words like a sponge, clutching them close as she fell asleep. Though she had little, her mother's words made her feel rich in spirit, and Amma promised herself she'd make her mother proud someday. She looked out at the stars, dreaming that one day she would find a way to change her life and bring pride to her village. As she grew, Amma developed a keen sense of purpose. Though she was only a teenager, she knew her path would be different from others. She began by making and selling small beaded bracelets, each colorful and unique, in the village market. She poured her heart into these creations, and the people sensed it, often stopping by her stall just to chat or buy one of her bracelets. She saved every coin, dreaming of bigger things and looking beyond her circumstances. Her mother's words echoed in her mind, guiding her every step. Amma believed that her small business would be the stepping stone to a brighter future. Through each bracelet she sold, Amma knew she was weaving together a path toward her dreams. As Amma's reputation grew, so did the number of bracelets she sold. However, the road was not easy, and life in the marketplace brought challenges she hadn't expected. Long hours and endless days spent under the scorching sun left her exhausted, with aching feet and sore hands. Each day, she would set up her small stall before dawn, preparing herself for the customers who would trickle in through the day. She often faced rejection, with people haggling for lower prices or walking away without buying. There were days when she'd return home with just a handful of coins, feeling disheartened. Yet, when she saw her mother's proud smile each evening, it reminded her of the purpose behind her work, rekindling the fire in her heart. Amma was determined not to give up. She pushed forward with a fierce determination, refusing to let her struggles weigh her down. To keep up her spirits, she would think of her mother's words, reminding herself that each hardship was a step closer to her dreams. Little by little, her savings began to grow, and her reputation spread beyond her village. People started to talk about the young girl with a big heart and an even bigger dream. Amma felt a sense of pride, knowing that her efforts were slowly paying off. Her persistence was turning the whispers of hope into something real, a small but powerful foundation for her future. Amma's hard work didn't go unnoticed, and soon, people from neighboring villages began to visit her small stall to buy her bracelets. Word spread about her dedication, and she began receiving small orders from traders who would sell her products in larger towns. The demand was growing, and Amma found herself busier than ever. She needed help, so she taught a few of the village women how to make bracelets, paying them fairly for their time and skill. This was the beginning of her dream taking shape, as she not only earned more but also created opportunities for others in her village. She was building a small community of women who believed in her vision, sharing the load and the hope that came with it. This was more than just a business for Amma. It was a way to lift her village. Her small enterprise brought life to the community, and the women she worked with saw Amma as a leader. Together, they worked long hours, making bracelets and sharing stories. Amma encouraged them with the same words her mother had told her. "We are stronger than we think," she would say, "and no dream is too big for us to reach." As her business grew, Amma started thinking of expanding further. She saved every bit of profit, dreaming of the day she could open a shop in the big city. The journey was long, but she was closer to making her dreams a reality. With enough savings in hand, Amma made the bold decision to move to the capital city and open her first shop. It was a difficult choice, as she had never lived away from her village, and the thought of the bustling city intimidated her. Yet, she knew that if she wanted to achieve greatness, she had to step outside her comfort zone. When she arrived in the city, she was overwhelmed by the noise, the tall buildings, and the fast pace of life. She rented a small space and opened her shop, filling it with her handcrafted bracelets and handmade goods. Business was slow at first, and there were days when she missed the familiarity of her village and the warmth of her mother's words. Still, Alma's determination didn't waver. She spent her days working tirelessly, trying new ways to attract customers and spreading the word about her shop. Slowly but surely, her efforts bore fruit. People began to take notice, and soon her shop became popular among city dwellers. Alma's resilience and hard work were finally paying off. Her small shop grew into a well-known brand, and she became a successful businesswoman in the capital. The young girl from a humble village had taken a leap of faith, and she was now living her dream. Each day, she thought of her mother and her village, knowing that she was on the path to something even bigger. As the years passed, Alma's business flourished, expanding from a single shop into multiple stores across the country. She ventured into new businesses, employing hundreds of people, and was eventually known as Alma the Billionaire. Despite her immense success, she remained humble, remembering the days when she sold bracelets under the hot sun. Alma never forgot where she came from, and she used her wealth to uplift others, supporting community projects and providing jobs to those in need. Her wealth wasn't just a symbol of her success, it was a tool to give back to her community, to create opportunities for people who had dreams just like hers. Alma knew that there were many women out there who felt small and unheard, who needed encouragement and hope. She began writing love letters to Black women, heartfelt messages filled with wisdom and encouragement. Each letter was a reflection of her own journey, of the struggles and triumphs she had experienced. She wrote from her heart, hoping that her words would inspire other women to believe in themselves. Her letters reminded them that they were powerful, beautiful, and capable of achieving greatness. Through her letters, Alma shared her love, her strength, and her unwavering belief that every woman could reach her dreams. Alma sat at her desk, pen in hand, and began writing her first love letter, pouring her heart into each word. "Dear sister," she began, "I know life isn't always easy. I know there are days when you feel small, invisible, and defeated. I have been there, too. But remember, greatness lives within you. You are strong, capable, and worthy of everything you dream of." As she wrote, she thought about her own journey, from selling bracelets in the village market to running her own business empire. She hoped that by sharing her story, she could inspire other women to keep pushing forward. "Hold your head high," she continued. "Let no one tell you what you can or cannot do. Keep going, even when the path is hard. Because you, my sister, are worth every single dream." The letter was a testament to Alma's own life lessons, filled with the wisdom she had learned through years of perseverance. She signed it with a flourish, feeling a wave of pride and love for the women who would read it. This was more than just a letter. It was a gift of hope and resilience, a message of solidarity to all the Black women who felt alone in their struggles. She packaged it with care and sent it out, knowing that even one letter could make a difference. Alma's heart swelled with joy, imagining the women who would read her words and feel a spark of inspiration. This was the beginning of something powerful, her voice, her love, reaching out to her sisters across the continent. Each week, Alma sat down to write a new letter, reflecting on her own life experiences and the lessons she'd learned along the way. She wrote about resilience, about facing rejection and failure, and about holding on to hope. To the woman who feels like the world is against her, she wrote in one letter, "Know that your strength is unmatched. There will be people who doubt you, people who tell you that you don't belong. But remember, they are wrong. You belong exactly where you are, and the world needs your light." Alma's words flowed from a place of empathy and understanding. She knew what it felt like to be overlooked, to feel small, and to fight for a place in a world that wasn't always kind. As her letters began to circulate, she started hearing from women who were touched by her words. Some reached out to thank her, sharing stories of how her letters had given them the courage to face their challenges. Others wrote to tell her that they kept her letters in their bags or pinned them to their walls, reading them whenever they needed a reminder of their own strength. Alma's heart swelled with joy and pride. She was no longer just a businesswoman. She had become a voice of hope for Black women everywhere. Her letters were changing lives, reminding women of their worth and empowering them to reach for their dreams. Alma realized that her letters could have an even greater impact if she began addressing them to younger girls as well. She thought about the young girls at her village, about her own journey, and about the dreams that had kept her going even when things seemed impossible. She wrote, "To the little girl with big dreams, I want you to know that you are strong and brilliant. You may feel small now, but you have the power to change the world. Keep dreaming, keep hoping, and never let anyone make you feel less than you are." She wanted young girls to feel empowered from an early age, to believe in themselves the way her mother had taught her to believe in herself. Each word was carefully chosen, crafted to speak to the heart of a young girl who might feel like her dreams are out of reach. Alma pictured the girls who would read her letter, their eyes lighting up as they realized they, too, could achieve greatness. She imagined them keeping her words close, just as she had kept her mother's words with her. These letters became her way of nurturing the next generation, of planting seeds of confidence and ambition in the minds of young girls across Africa. Alma's legacy was growing, spreading through her words and touching the lives of girls who would one day become leaders in their own right. Alma knew that one of the most important lessons she could share was the power of self-worth. She wrote, "To the woman who feels she isn't enough, I want you to remember that you are more than enough. You don't need to change yourself to fit anyone else's standards. You are beautiful, powerful, and deserving of respect and love." Alma understood that many Black women faced daily challenges to their self-esteem, often feeling judged or undervalued by society. Her words were meant to remind them that their worth didn't come from anyone else's opinions, but from within. The letter struck a deep chord with many readers. Women reached out, sharing their own struggles with self-worth and telling Alma how her words had given them a new sense of confidence. Alma was overjoyed to see her letters making such a profound impact. She knew that building self-worth was a lifelong journey, and she was honored to be a part of that journey for so many women. Her letters were helping Black women across the continent reclaim their confidence, reminding them of their beauty, intelligence, and strength. Alma's words became a beacon of hope, guiding women towards a future where they could embrace themselves fully and unapologetically. In one of her letters, Alma focused on the importance of perseverance, sharing the challenges she had faced along her path to success. "To the woman who feels like giving up, I want you to know that I have been there, too. I have faced days where it felt impossible to keep going. But I am here today because I chose not to give up. And I believe in you. I believe that you have the strength to overcome whatever obstacles come your way." She poured her heart into this letter, knowing that perseverance had been one of the most crucial elements of her own journey. Alma's message resonated deeply with readers, inspiring them to push through their own struggles. Her words reminded them that success doesn't come without setbacks and that every challenge was an opportunity to grow stronger. Women from all walks of life wrote back, telling Alma how her story had encouraged them to keep going, to believe in their dreams even when the path seemed difficult. Alma's letters were more than just words. They were lifelines, offering strength and hope to women who needed a reminder that they were not alone in their journeys. Alma knew that the strength of Black women came not only from within, but from the rich heritage they carried with them. She wrote, "To the woman who is ashamed of her roots, I want you to know that there is nothing more powerful than embracing who you are. Your heritage is your strength. The history of your ancestors, their struggles, their triumphs live within you. Don't be afraid to honor where you come from." Alma's words were meant to remind women that their past was not something to hide, but something to be proud of. She knew that by embracing their heritage, Black women could carry forward the legacy of those who had fought for their freedom, their dignity, and their rights. The letter was a celebration of Black culture, of the beauty found in the traditions, language, and history of African people. Alma encouraged women to celebrate their identity, to wear their heritage like a crown, because it was a crown of strength, resilience, and wisdom. She received countless letters from women who were moved by her words, telling her how they had never fully appreciated their culture until reading her message. Many shared that her letter had helped them reconnect with their roots, from learning more about their ancestors to proudly embracing their cultural practices. Alma's letter had sparked a deeper sense of pride in her readers, making them feel even more connected to their history and the strength it provided. Alma wrote another letter, this time to the women who often felt isolated, as if they were fighting their battles alone. To the woman who feels like she is no one, I want you to know that you are not alone. We, as women, have a bond that goes beyond race, beyond culture. We are sisters in this journey of life, and together, we are powerful. She believed that sisterhood was a force to be reckoned with, and it was important to uplift one another in times of struggle and joy alike. Alma encouraged her readers to seek out other women for support, to build a community that could strengthen them through the toughest moments. As Alma's letters spread, women began to connect with one another more openly. Many shared their personal stories, offered encouragement, and created small groups of support. Alma's words had sparked a movement of sisterhood, where women embraced the power of unity and solidarity. The stories of connection and collaboration flooded Alma's inbox, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing that her letters were creating bonds that transcended physical distances. Women no longer felt isolated in their struggles. They had found each other, forming a network of love, support, and empowerment. In her next letter, Alma tackled the topic of fear, something that held so many women back from pursuing their dreams. To the woman who is afraid of failure, I want you to know that fear is a natural part of life. But it should not control you. Fear only has power over you if you let it. Embrace your fear, face it head-on, and let it fuel your courage to move forward. Alma's message was clear. Fear was not something to be defeated, but something to be understood and managed. She shared how, throughout her own journey, she had faced moments of fear, but it was her ability to rise above it that had helped her succeed. Many women who read Alma's letter began to look at their own fears in a new light. They realized that fear didn't have to stop them. It could be the very thing that propelled them to take risks, to try new things, and to go after what they wanted in life. Alma's letter became a turning point for many of her readers, helping them face their own fears and take action despite them. Alma received letters from women who were now pursuing their dreams, starting businesses, going back to school, or chasing opportunities they had once thought were beyond their reach. Fear no longer had the hold it once did. Alma's words had helped them transform their fear into courage. Alma's next letter was about the power of forgiveness, a lesson she had learned through years of personal growth. To the woman who is holding on to anger, I want you to know that forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for you. Holding on to anger only keeps you trapped in the past. Let it go, so you can move forward in peace. Alma shared her own experiences of having to forgive people who had wronged her, business partners, colleagues, and even family members. She explained how forgiveness had allowed her to find peace, not for the sake of others, but for her own well-being. The letter had a profound impact on many readers. It gave them the courage to forgive people who had hurt them in the past, whether it was a painful breakup, a betrayal by a friend, or even past experiences of racism. Alma's words encouraged them to let go of the chains that anger and resentment had created in their hearts. Letters poured in from women who had forgiven long-held grudges, finding freedom and healing in the process. Alma's message of forgiveness had become a catalyst for emotional healing, and women began to embrace peace in their hearts, allowing them to move forward with lighter spirits and clearer minds. Alma's journey had been long and filled with setbacks, and she knew that one of the most important virtues for any woman was patience. She wrote, "To the woman who feels like everything is happening too slowly, I want you to know that patience is not about waiting, it's about trusting. Trust that what is meant for you will come, and trust that the work you are doing today is preparing you for tomorrow's success." Alma had spent years building her empire, and she knew that nothing worthwhile came easily. Patience had been her constant companion through all the hard times. Her letter resonated deeply with her readers, especially those who were feeling discouraged by the slow pace of their progress. Women reached out, telling Alma how her words had helped them shift their mindset. They began to focus on the small victories, the lessons learned along the way, and the growth that was happening quietly beneath the surface. Patience, they realized, was not about waiting for things to happen, but about trusting in the process. Alma's words gave them the strength to keep going, knowing that success was on the horizon if they remained steadfast and patient. Alma's next letter focused on standing tall in the face of adversity. To the woman who is facing hardships, I want you to know that adversity is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It will push you, challenge you, and force you to grow. But if you stand tall, it will make you stronger. Alma had encountered many obstacles in her life, from financial struggles to personal losses, and each challenge had shaped her into the woman she had become. She encouraged her readers to see adversity as a chance to develop resilience and strength. Many women wrote back, telling Alma how her words had helped them face their own challenges with newfound strength. Some were going through financial difficulties, others were battling health issues, but all of them found a renewed sense of power in Alma's message. She had helped them see that their struggles were not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. With each challenge they faced, they were becoming stronger and more capable. Alma's letters had become a source of strength for many, reminding them that they were capable of standing tall, no matter what life threw their way. In her next letter, Alma addressed a topic that was close to her heart: self-love. She wrote, "To the woman who has forgotten how to love herself, I want you to know that you are worthy of love. The love you seek from others must first come from within. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so take the time to fill yourself with the love you deserve." Alma had come from a place where self-doubt had once plagued her, but over time, she learned to love herself for who she was, flaws and all. She knew that self-love was the foundation for everything else in life. If you didn't love yourself, it was difficult to truly give love to others or receive it in return. Her words struck a chord with many women who had spent years putting others first, neglecting their own needs. Alma's letter became a reminder that it was okay to take time for themselves, to prioritize their own well-being, and to love themselves unconditionally. Women wrote to Alma, sharing how they had started practicing self-care, setting boundaries, and forgiving themselves for past mistakes. Many of them found strength in learning how to love themselves again, and it became a powerful turning point in their lives. Alma's letter had given them permission to prioritize themselves, and in doing so, they began to realize their worth. Alma's belief in the power of dreams was unwavering. In her next letter, she wrote, "To the woman who is afraid to dream big, I want you to know that your dreams are valid. They are not too big or too unrealistic. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Your dreams are a reflection of your potential. You are capable of achieving them, no matter how impossible they may seem." Alma had always dreamed of becoming a billionaire, and even though many people doubted her along the way, she never stopped believing in herself and her vision. Her journey taught her that no dream was too big if you were willing to work hard enough to achieve it. The letter inspired countless women to reach for their dreams. Some had been hesitant to start a business. Others had been afraid to go after a promotion, but after reading Alma's words, they realized that their dreams were worth pursuing. Alma received countless stories of women who took the leap and started businesses, went back to school, or simply believed in themselves more than they ever had before. Her words had reignited the fire in many women's hearts, giving them the courage to chase their dreams, no matter how big they seemed. Alma's message was simple yet profound: dream big, and then make those dreams a reality. Alma's next letter was about resilience in the face of rejection. To the woman who has faced rejection, I want you to know that rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply a redirection. Every no is a lesson, and every door that closes is an opportunity for you to find the right one. Do not let rejection define you. Alma knew rejection well, whether in her business endeavors, relationships, or even personal goals, but she had learned that rejection was just part of the journey. Instead of seeing it as a setback, she had used it as motivation to push harder and keep going. Alma's message resonated deeply with many women who had experienced rejection in various forms. Whether it was not getting the job they wanted, facing judgment from others, or being overlooked in relationships, Many women had internalized these rejections as personal failures. Alma's letter helped them reframe their experiences. Rejection was not the end, but a chance to reassess, grow, and try again. Women began to share stories of how they had overcome rejection, using it as fuel for their next attempt. Alma's words had empowered them to see rejection not as a barrier, but as a stepping stone on their journey toward success. In the final letter of her series, Alma reflected on the legacy she wanted to leave. To the woman who wonders if her life matters, I want you to know that everything you do, no matter how small, is part of the legacy you are creating. The love you give, the impact you make on others, the way you live your truth. This is the legacy that will live on long after you're gone. Leave a legacy of kindness, strength, and love. Alma had built her empire not just for herself, but for future generations, especially for the women who came after her. She wanted her legacy to be one of inspiration, a reminder that no matter where you start in life, you can always rise and make a difference. Her letter was a call to action for women to think about their own legacies. What kind of impact did they want to leave on the world? Many women who read Alma's final letter began to reflect on their own lives and the mark they wanted to make. They started to see the importance of their actions, no matter how small, in shaping the world around them. Letters poured in from women who were now committed to living their lives with purpose and intention, knowing that they, too, could leave a legacy of strength, kindness, and love. Alma's words had touched them deeply, and they were determined to honor the legacy they would one day leave behind. Alma's letters had done more than just inspire, they had sparked a movement. Women everywhere had found strength, empowerment, and a renewed sense of purpose in her words. Through her journey, Alma had proven that no matter where you come from or what obstacles you face, you can rise, you can achieve, and you can make a difference. Her letters had not only touched the hearts of those who read them, but they had also created a ripple effect, one that would continue to inspire generations to come.